That was very good. It was very good.
Good line.
Yeah. That's those are concepts that are pretty much lost on
I just texted you something.
What? See, was a lot. I don't have Hanukkah parties tonight.
They don't tell us why they don't come on.
I should have gone to a Hanukkah party.
Rosh Chodesh parties.
Yaakov, I had a
What?
party. I had a party tonight, but nobody showed up. I'm about to talk about myself.
Everybody's been doing Hanukkah parties, so some people want to do Rosh Chodesh parties.
So Yaakov, did you look? I texted you something yesterday. I don't know if you had a chance to see it.
Oh, I totally forgot. I couldn't make heads or tails out of it. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about it.
Oh, so I don't know if it means anything. It just hit me when I was looking at the lech, because I look at the lech. I was looking at the lech, and I said, everybody's hacking a cup with the zman. When you light, 4:45, 5:15, back and forth till when, everything. And lechatchila, 2 out of the 8 nights, 25%, we always light in the wrong time. Erev Shabbos and Motzi Shabbos, they're both lit in the wrong
That's what
time.
you meant.
Yeah, and then if there's 2 Shabbos Hanukkahs, we light 3 out of 8 in the wrong time. I don't know if it means anything. It just hit me that it's strange.
And I look at it the
That's
other
very
way.
interesting.
I look at it the other way. Friday night and Motzi Shabbos, since I'm not stuck at work, I for sure light at the right time.
No, you're obviously lighting at the wrong time.
It's the right time that you light it. It becomes the right time. What's up? Right after Shabbos.
No, it doesn't become the right time. You're lighting at the wrong time because ain't brera. You're not. It doesn't become the right time.
I asked my Reform rabbi, and she said, "Whatever we do is fine."
Very good, doctor.
We could drive over to her house and ask.
Thank you. You know, doctor, I have the original Henny Youngman albums. I don't need any other one. I don't need substitutes. You know.
Hey, Aaron,
How can you sit outside with a jacket on and then be so cool? In general, never mind. We'll talk later.
Aaron, isn't that Rabbi Kanner's line?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Just ask your modern Orthodox rabbi and see.
Oh,
what
that's
Listen,
he uses that a lot.
In Eretz Yisrael, I think even those that kept 72 on Motzei Shabbos, Chanukah, they don't.
Yeah, they cut back to 70.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, okay, we ready to go? Gave the Olam time. Tonight is a fascinating daf, but on Amud Beis, not on Amud Aleph. Okay, I'm not gonna get you. No. Amud Aleph is a lot of kachim. We'll go through, but Amud Beis is mamish. Okay, I'm not saying it's important gemaras, but it's important gemaras.
Every Gemara is important. I'm so excited.
That's true. That's true. But some of them are very nagei l'maisa. Amud Beis is very nagei l'maisa. A lot of stuff. So anyway, so Chav Gimel was a bunch of kashas again on the shitas that say that from the word Akhila, you know that there's also Issur hanah. So we had a kasha from trumah, from Nazir, from Chadash, from Shratzim, and that's how we got involved with that. You're not allowed to do business with tray for food, right? Interesting that pigs, right? Chazerim, you're not allowed to even own. The other ones you're allowed to own, you're just not allowed to do business, right? Chazerim, you're not allowed because of that maisa with the chazer that they put over the wall in the Yerushalayim. But you are allowed to do business with the skins of a chazer. You're allowed to, meaning people ask if you're allowed to have a pigskin football. Rabban, I don't think the pigskin footballs anymore, right? Footballs are pigskins anymore? The stomach not. Right? So you would think, are you allowed to have that? So that, yes, you're allowed to have skins of a chazer. You are allowed to have. So pigskin football is okay. Then we had a kasha from chametz, and then we had the chaylev. That was on Amud Aleph and Amud Beis. is that we said the only nafkamina, what was the bottom line difference between Rabbi Avo and Chizkiah is chulin sheneshel tu ba'azara. That's the whole practical machlokes. So now we're up to on the bottom of Chaf Gimel Amud Beis. We're trying to find another source that things are assur b'hanah. Okay, so four lines up from the bottom. So then minayin. Yeah, so how do we know that there's Issur hanah? T'chsiv kol chatas asher yuvot midama. Any chatas that was brought from its blood inside, meaning there's different karbonas. Some need their blood put onto the mizbeach hachitzon, and some need it to be done in the mizbeach hapnimi, right? The one that's in the kodesh, yeah. So if you by mistake take the blood that's supposed to be on the mizbeach hachitzon and it goes into the pnimi, then it passes up the whole carbon, right? So good. So it says kol chatas asher yuva midama, right? And then it's and then he says it can't be. It doesn't. It's interesting, like we said, it doesn't bring the end of the passuk, which is obviously the ikr part, right? But the end of the passuk says, where is it? Where is my book? Where is it? Not on the side of the Gemara here? There it is. Yeah. You shouldn't eat it, but I don't know if any of you guys Gemaras has the full Torah or on the side, but it's very helpful here. Again, it says chol chatas because it's going to come up on the next Amud. Which words are extra? It says kol chatas is supposed to be brought into the oil moed. I mean that was brought into the oil moed and wasn't supposed to be. Now, two of those words are extra, right? If it's supposed to be burned, then of course it's loisei achel, right? So something's going to have to be extra in that passuk. That's what we're going to darshan. But so then back in the Gemara, minayin tefsiv kol chatas asher yuva midama. She'ein tamei lemer be'eish tisarif. I don't need to tell you be'eish tisarif, right? Uma tamei lemer be'eish tisarif. So now what does it say be'eish tisarif for? Meaning if you're saying you don't have to eat it, so then be'eish tisarif is you're not allowed to eat it. So be'eish tisarif is going to be. It's not mamish extra, which we'll get onto Namanal because it has to tell you to burn it. But the bottom line is you know that it's still also to eat. So in legufa, if you don't need it for this, tichsiv v'hinei sarif v'hinei sarif, you don't need it because it says and they have to be burned. Now this, by the way, what's it saying? If it's not in for gufa, meaning we know this already. How do we know this? It's from a Chanukah, from the psukim of Chanukah. Right, because what does it say? By Nachshon ben Aminadav, when he brought his carbon, right? And Moshe said, "Why'd you burn Nachshon ben Aminadav's carbon?" Right, this is all in Rashi, the second Rashi up from the bottom. Why'd you burn Nachshon ben Aminadav's carbon? Right? Hein loy huva es dama ela kodesh pnima. You didn't bring the blood inside. Right? That's what Moshe Rabbeinu said. Why are you burning? What went wrong with Nachshon ben Aminadav's carbon? That you're burning it. It's not like you brought the blood inside. So what do you see from Moshe Rabbeinu? What he said, had you brought the blood inside, then you would need to be burned. So we already know this din that the passuk is saying here. We already know the din that any carbon whose blood was brought inside to the oil mayit is no good, right? Why does it? Then that leaves the whole parsha of when the Torah is actually telling that to us as extra. Right. So again,
this is our.
What are you saying?
This is them by Aaron's two sons. Yeah.
No, not by Aaron's two sons. No. This is by Chanukah Samizbeach. This is by Chanukah Samizbeach in the psukim that we're learning now every day. Nachshon ben Aminadav's carbon. He went that carbon. Every day. Carbon.
That's when they got. That's when they got killed. The two sons.
Oh, you mean I didn't cop what you're saying? Is that when they got by the Chanukah Samizbeach and they decided to burn it anyways without right? Well, that's what. Yeah. But the problem was what went wrong with the carbon.
Yeah, but that I just wanted to say now you said about Hanukkah. So the day Shmuel said it this morning, the day that they got killed, that carbon that was the 8th day.
Hanukkah.
Yeah, no, the eighth nos
The 8th day of the Korban.
of the Korbanos.
Of the
So
Chanukas aveiros.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was just
Interesting.
that. I mean, that's is one of the sides of my religion, of my strange religion. That but and when I saw it today, it was Mamish L'mayla Minateva. It's the 8th day. It fits in perfect.
Yeah. But the whole thing is that it's talking about Chanukah Mizbeach.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the point is that the Gemara is saying that we already know from this Ma'aser with Nashim and others carbon that any carbon whose blood was brought inside to the oil mayid is going to be puzzled. So then why do I need the whole parsha for? So that's what it's saying. So we'll tell you that it goes to every other is in the Torah. Now we're on Chaftala with Aleph. And if you don't need it for Akhila because it says Lai Seichel, right? Then Tanei in Yisra must be telling you that it's also about no. So then asks, if that's the case, so that means anytime the Torah says don't eat it, you have to burn it because this parsha says you have to burn it. No, only things that are kodesh, right? That needs streifa, but if it's not kodesh, it doesn't need streifa. Fine. So now the Gemara asks, that we need it for something else. We need it for a member that Rav Shimon says, the Tani Rav Shimon, that tells you that the chatas, right, a passuk chatas has to be burned in the kodesh in the Beis Hamikdash. Meaning, if a carbon chatas goes wrong, so why not just bring it home and burn it at home, right? The whole thing's puzzle. So maybe the kohen say, send it home. We got too many things to burn in the mizbeach or not in the mizbeach. We have too many things to burn in the Beis Hamikdash. Take it home and make a barbecue there and burn it all up. So we say, no, we need the passuk to tell you that you have to burn it in the Beis Hamikdash. Mainly al zubulvad, but that only tells us this carbon. Psule koche kochem, mure koche kalim minayin. How do we know koche kochem and kochem kalim also need to be burned in the Beis Hamikdash? That it has to, everything that has to be burned has to be burned by kodesh. Good. So now that doesn't leave that passuk available for us anymore to say that. It says lo seichel, that it's available to tell us that lo seichel means also ba'ano. So he told him, Rabbi Yochanan, your Rebbe learns from this passuk. Right? If there's anything left over from the miluim, and again, the passuk leaves out the ikar part, not the pasuk. The Gemara leaves out the ikar part, right? And then it says, "V'saraftas hanoisar ba'esh," and you have to burn the leftover from the miluim in fire. Lo yachel ki kodesh. Don't eat it because it's kodesh. So again, it says lo yachel, right? So which ain't tamei lo yachel. It doesn't have to say lo yachel because we said it's going to burn it. Umal tamei lo yachel. So why is it saying lo yachel? In the gufe, if you don't need it for this pasuk, because it says burn it, put it to the other Issur Shabbatar. And if it's not an Indian for Akhila, so put it for Issur hanah. Same Gemara. If that's the case, then that just like here it has to be burned. So every Issur in the Torah has to be burned. No, it says you have to burn the noiser. Noiser b'sreifa ve'en kol Issur Shabbatar b'sreifa. Only noiser gets sreifa. Other Issur in the Torah don't get sreifa.
Well, what's the havamina of this time that imakan b'sreifa kol Issur Shabbatar b'sreifa? The first time around we were learning it from v'sarafta. This time we're learning it from lo yochel. Lo yochel, sorry.
Right.
Why should lo yochel, if I take a passuk that says lo yochel to another parsha, mean you should do sreifa?
Well, because it says in this passuk that you should do sreifa.
It's separate din. We're taking the words lo yochel to a different place. We're not taking the whole passuk.
Yeah, but when the passuk that you're learning it out of, why? I understand. Well, this before you have that same kind of before too.
No, because before we were using the words vaish tisaref.
Right.
Before we said that lo yochel you need, so you don't need vaish tisaref. If I don't need vaish tisaref, take them to a different parsha. To tell me what? Well, that's a parsha kasha. So if I'm taking the words vaish tisaref to a new parsha, then do vaish tisaref. Here we're taking lo yochel to a different parsha.
Okay, well the Gemara is gonna switch it around anyway. So maybe the Gemara is going to switch it. So maybe that's what you're saying. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to be what you're asking, but let's see. So Gemara says, no, we need this loyachal for something else. What's coming to tell you loyachal is to say that somebody, an extra loy, not extra, but a loysaseh on a person who eats it. Right? Then that's why you need the loyachal. So Rabbi Loila Mikrakama. No, so let's go back to the first passuk. Ve'epoch, and switch it. The lichtoi be'esh tisarif, v'loi boi loi soichel. It's not going to answer your question, Gershon, but okay, I thought maybe it was. Let it write be'esh tisarif, right? Burn it, and I don't need loi soichel. Ma tam loi soichel. So then the same thing. Meaning before we were learning it from be'esh tisarif is extra. Right? And now we're saying the loy cycle is extra. So matam loy cycle meaning the gufay. If you don't need it for the pasuk, the nafkalim the Rebbe Lazar, we learn out from Rebbe Lazar that you're not allowed to eat it today. You in the chalas and shabbatar. Give it to Issur shabbatar. V'meina in the akhila. If you don't need it in akhila because you already know that today even in the Issur hanah, then they'll tell you Issur hanah. So then Gemara says imakam b'sreifa af kol Issur shabbatar b'sreifa. So if that's the case, then you should have to burn it like, and every time there's an Issur Akhila in the Torah or Issur hanah, you'd have to burn it. Hanoiser. It says hanoiser b'sreifa. Vein kol Issur shabbatar b'sreifa. Only noiser needs sreifa, not all other Issur in the Torah. Fine. Okay. So no, maybe it's just coming to tell you that it has a lav. Because if it's from a Rebbe Lazar, you wouldn't give malchus on that specific case. Why not? Because it's a lav shebeklalos. The lav shebeklalos is you don't get malchus on a lav shebeklalos. This is a Gemara malchus, right? That if there's just a blanket rule, I don't know if is that the right way to say it. If there's like probably a better way to say it. Meaning it just says
an umbrella injunction.
An umbrella injunction.
I think a blanket rule is maybe more comprehensible.
Okay, so then right. So if you just say a rule about a bunch of things, so that's a lav shebeklalos. So there's no malchus on that. So now maybe we'll tell you that this lo yochel will tell like soichel. I'm sorry, will tell you that you're going to actually get a lav on that. Elos. Okay, so then we change again. Right? It says any basar that touches something that's tamei, you're not allowed to eat it, has to be burned. Doesn't need to tell you lo yachal. So what is it teaching you lo yachal? For Romanian in the gufay, you don't need it to tell you that anything that touched tamei is not allowed to be eaten because you know that from meiser, which is more kal. Right, meaning meiser sheni, meiser hakal, meiser, which is weaker. Amra Torah loivi arti menu betamei, that you can't burn it when it's tamei, right? I mean not, but I'm sorry, biarti doesn't mean burn here. Biarti means you can't eat it, right? You can't eat it when it's tamei. Basar kodesh chamor, so basar kodesh that's chamor loy kol shekain. Of course, you shouldn't be able to eat it. So we already know for that. The Gemara asks, if you're going to say, oh, you cannot make a lav from a kal v'chaimer. Keshu, it's not a kal v'chaimer, it's a hekish, it's a comparison. Right? And matam loimer lo yachal. In the gufay. Okay, so that no saying it said leisucha lecha b'sharecha ma'aser degan chatirosh v'tzerecha b'charis b'karcha. So therefore, it's a hekish, right? I'm sorry, because it says that is the end of the passuk, right? So they, obviously in that passuk, it's putting meiser together with trumah, right? So and other kachim. So therefore, that's how we know that those are also b'achilas. So matam and so since we already know from a different libud, so then what is lo yachal available for? Many in the gufay, and in the chalas and shabbatar. Many in the akhila, and in the hanah. Fine. So the Gemara says imakam b'sreifa Af kol isurin shebetorah b'sreifa. So Amar Kro hanoisa b'sreifa vein kol isurin shebetorah b'sreifa. Okay, I'm sorry for going a little fast there, but it's the same. It's a pretty much repetitive Gemara. Basically, Bekitzer, what this Amud just told us is that there were 3 different options of kodshim that had to be burned, that weren't allowed to be eaten and weren't allowed to be burned. That essentially we're doing the same thing with learning out from the word loy soichel from any one of these 3, and then the first 2, obviously, the Gemara has kashas on. The Gemara's going to have another kasha on this one too, but the Gemara has different kashas, and it's basically the same yesod, that the akhila is not meant for the psul and the carbon, so we could use it for all other isurim in the Torah. So Amar le Ravina le Rav Ashi. Okay, now from here on, the Gemara gets much more interesting. Yeah.
One second. There has to be some logic on what you're going to use it for, right?
It doesn't seem, obviously it has to be a logic, but it just seems like it's extra. So we're just going to go learn it out to all the Issur. It's extra. So we're going to say that Lo Seichel means Issur Bahana. It means Issur hanah, but not Sreifa though. Just Issur hanah. Yeah. Because it's extra.
It's like a freebie?
Yeah, it's exactly what it. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, on Amud base, it's going to get interesting. Exactly what how far we take the freebies, but it's a freebie. It's exactly what it's saying. Let's see weiter. Maybe you'll get either a little more clear or maybe less clear, whichever. Right. So Amar le Ravina le Rav Ashi, ve'malaver la b'shnei lavin. Maybe the reason why it's telling it to you is because who says it's a freebie, right, doctor? That's what you're saying. Who says it's a freebie? Maybe it's telling you that somebody who eats kodshim, either the tamei, whichever one you're going with, the blood was sprinkled out in the inside mizbeach instead of outside, or from the noiser, from miluim, or from the trumah, whichever one of the 3 options. But maybe it's coming to tell you that there's 2 lavim. Mi amar lav mi amar Abaye. Did Abaye not say acha petisa loika arba? Right, our favorite contemporary issue. Right, if you eat a petisa, right, a petisa is a water bug that you get 4 lavim. Nimala, if you eat an ant, like a chametz, you get 5 malchus, meaning 5 sets of malchus. Now on tamei based tzira, like a sheish. A tzira is a flying thing. Tzira, I thought we touched tzira as like a beetle. No, did we touch tzira? Not a beetle.
I wrote hornet. 7
Hornet?
years ago. I don't know if I'm right. I wrote
hornet.
I have written.
A hornet. Okay, a hornet.
Rashi and Dvarim by Cholmachla.
Says hornet?
Yes, it's serious. Yeah, I think so.
What's the other thing, Rabban? We were learning it last week in the morning with the dangerous flying things. What was that? That was
A wasp?
Yeah, how do you say wasp?
A wasp. I just said it.
No, okay, whatever it is. I don't know why it's dafka hornet. It's any flying bug, right? So flying bug, you get 6. What?
A hornet's a big wasp.
Well, he brings here that the hornet creeps on the ground as well as flies. So one who eats it, that's why you're chayav 5.
So that's really Tosis is saying that, but it's what I mean. It's 6. I mean, there's 5. I mean, that's why there's an extra one, because there's 2 for flying. There's 4.
Correct.
Your
5 for an
baseline
ant
for
and then 1
4.
for flying. Correct.
Right. Yeah. So there's a baseline is 4. Then you can get an extra 1 for crawling and 2 extra for flying.
See, Yaakov.
Oh, yeah.
I see LEOs on. What happens if you don't know if this thing is an animal or a plant? The scientists don't know. Or the Rabbanim don't know if it's an animal or a plant. Why would you get
what was that on me?
Because you said this morning about the...
This morning.
You said...
for the meat.
Yeah.
I don't always remember everything from 6 o'clock in the morning. So.
Okay.
For some of us, it's 9 o'clock, so it's not so long.
I know.
Well, I guess it's the same amount of time, but I guess we're more awake.
Can we just get back to lettuce? What's with bugs? What? Bugs
The bug people love. This is the bug people's favorite Gemara right here.
Oh,
Let's get back to it.
Right? What are you saying? This is their favorite Gemara, right? Every bug you could be over on 60 surim. That's what they say. It's worse to go eat vegetables in a treifa restaurant than to eat meat. right? Because meat is one issur. And,
That's why some guys wanted a salad at Peter Luger's.
Here we go, full circle. Okay, right? So anyway, so what the point of the Gemara is saying is that you see that there are isurim where we just pile up the lavim on you, right? So why can't we just add a lav here? Why are we saying that it's available, right? That it, like Doctor said, it's the freebie. Maybe it's just to pile on the isurim. Notice that it doesn't bring from Lashon Hara that you can be over like 30 something isurim. No, I'm not sure what to do with that. But yeah. But anyway,
Like that, it's like that cop on 878 used to give out like 6 or 8 tickets for one infraction.
right. That's true, right? Exactly. That's what the Gemara is saying. So the Gemara is asking, why don't you do it here? So then the Gemara says a very interesting teretz. If we can figure out what the extra lav is going for without piling it on, we're going to do that. It's only if we have no other thing to do with it, and then it must be the Torah is coming to pile it on. So obviously, the extra 4 isurim or 5 or 2, whatever, by bugs, the Gemara couldn't figure out another use for all those extra isurim, so therefore that's why it's piled on. Okay? Fine. So that's the end of that Gemara. Then the Gemara says, now it says, it says the basar that touches anybody, it's tamei lo yochel. Yeah? The racial lamale, what do you need the beginning of the passuk for? Right? So we say the rabbis eitzim levaina. It comes to include wood, and the levaina is the flour. Right? That tells you, not the flour. I'm sorry, levaina is the smelly stuff. What do you call it? Not the frankincense. The frankincense, whatever that means. Right? Something with smelling. Yeah. Spices, the spices, yeah, very good. But the spices that come, not the ketores, the spices that you put on with the korbanos, right? Then it's the rub, I guess, the Tiperet's language, the rub, right? The rub, the carbon rub, right?
Well, the levina went on the korbanos or the menachos?
No, it was together. It wasn't mamish the rub. It wasn't. They didn't put it onto them, right?
It was the menachos, no? Went on the menachos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so basar kol tar yochel basar the sefer lam. At least, and it says a basar kol tar yochel basar. What do you need to end of the passuk for? L'rabas a murin. That's coming to include a murin, right? That if they become, so basically if the eitzim become tamei and the levina becomes tamei and the murin become tamei, they all have to be burned. So a murin mehasam nafka. We learn on a murin from over there. The tanya about nefesh shateichel basar mizevach Hashem mashel Hashem. L'rabas is a murin. So that we have a different passage that tells you that a murin have the issur of becoming tamei and you're not allowed to eat it. So you say hasam tumas haguf bekaris. There it's tumas haguf. Then it gets karis, meaning the person who, it's talking about being matama the body. Yeah, if somebody is tamei and he eats it, then it's a problem. Then it gets karis. Hacha tumas basar. Beloved. Here we're just talking about what the meat is tamei, meaning over there it's talking about a person who's tamei eating it. That's karis. Here we're talking about if the meat itself is tamei and you eat it, so then that's a lav. Okay, fine. Now we're ready. This major Gemara right here. All right, take a deep breath because here we go. Comes up so many situations. Amar Rabbi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Kol isurin shebatayra ein loiken aleim ela derech achilasan. Any issur in the Torah, you only get malchus on it if you eat it the way it's meant to be eaten. Right? Lemute mai. What is it coming to exclude? Amar Rav Simi Barashi lemute shem achal chaylev chai shepater. It's coming to exclude that if you eat fats raw, not pshat. Okay, this is not pshat, but it's as close to it. Right? You take fats from the animal raw and you take it and you eat it. That's not a normal way to eat, and therefore you would be potter. So it comes out only chaylev that's cooked would you be chayav on. That's one version of the Gemara. Ika da'amri, Amar Rabbi Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol isurin shebatayra ain't loiken aleim ela derech hanah asam. Only from getting hanah from it. Lemute mai, Amar Rav Simi Barashi, lemute shem haniya chaylev shel shara niskal al gabi makasei. Let somebody takes the fats of a shara niskal, which we know is assur, and he and and he puts it on his cut, shehu potter, he's potter. V'chol shekain oichel chaylev chai, shehu potter. And kol shekain, somebody who eats the chaylev that are raw, that he's going to be potter.
If I have medicine, that's not the normal way to eat.
Oh, 1 second. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's just finish up the next two Gemaras.
Why does the Gemara say potter here? I mean, it's the same klal of potter assur. There's no lav. What's the issur?
Very good, very good. We'll get that in a minute. I had a mifus with that today, mamish. But with exactly what you're asking. I don't mind mifus or somebody else. Somebody had a mifus. What?
So, but this depends on the society you're living in.
Oh, so we're going to get to that. We're going to get to all the practical.
Okay, fine.
Right? It's the same thing. You don't literally means absorb 40 makas. Okay, 1 second. Let's hold off on that one for a second. We'll get back to that. Yeah. So now, Gemara is clearly saying that if you're over on, if you take something shaloi kederach akhila, then you're not chayav, right? What's the practical that this has to do with? Yeah. So it means anything that's you're eating in an abnormal way, so then you're not chayav on that. How do we pass it? Yeah.
Treif sushi. Treif sushi.
Well, sushi is considered derech akhila, no?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It depends when you live.
You mean otherwise eating raw fish?
None of our Zaydis ate sushi.
Right. So, okay, so the thing is like this. So, Issurim, in Shulchan Aruch and Yeridei Paskins, that anything is shaloi kederach hanasan, it's for mutter, for a chayla she'ein by sakana. Meaning, let's go back here. The Gemara says, like Gershon pointed out, the Gemara says you're potter. You're not getting makas. It's mashma that it's assur. Still assur, you're just potter, right? Shulchan Aruch Paskin, that's all for a healthy person. If somebody's not healthy, then Issurim shaloi kederach hanasan are mutter. This comes up obviously with medications that are treif, and it comes up with Yom Kippur, eating shaloi kederach achilasan. Right? So what's the deal with pills? Is taking a pill that's treif, derech achila or not? So how about swallowing food without chewing it? Is that considered derech achila or not? That's where the taking the treif of medications comes in.
What about gum? Where you're chewing, you're not swallowing gum.
But that is derech achila.
That is eating. I mean, swallowing is achila, no?
Well, you're getting the flavor out of it, and then you're swallowing that.
Is this the same? I remember someone asked you about IVs on Yom Kippur.
Oh, so exactly. So IV is not derech achila. That's why, very, very good, right? That's why IVs on Yom Kippur are 100% mutter, right? And IVs with tarfus is also 100% mutter because that's not the derech achila.
I have a problem with that, but whatever.
What?
I still have a problem with that because you don't get hungry. You're not hungry.
That's
or whatever.
Yeah, but it's still l'maisa. It's mutter because that's not called derech achila.
It's not recommended by many poskim.
That's true. It's not recommended for different reasons.
I've seen them all do it.
That's true, but it's for different reasons. They're not meaning the poskim that assur. It's not because they believe that that's called derech achila. That's because it's making a wound in the body and it can get infected, etc., etc.
And it's felt not necessary.
What do you mean? You should just eat.
Many poskim say it's not necessary.
Yeah. You should just eat. But what about pills? So the Torah's Chaim holds.
Can I interrupt for a second? The Gemara doesn't talk about how you eat the chaylev chai. It talks about eating something that's not normally eaten. Where do we get from what we're eating to how we're eating it?
What do you mean?
It says eating chaylev chai because nobody eats chaylev chai. It doesn't talk about eating chaylev chai through an IV. It says something that's not normally eaten.
Yeah, but no, but
he's saying pills people take. and pills are made with tarfus. That's the normal way to make pills
That's
and
what you're
eat
saying?
pills. I think
Rami,
that's what
you're
Rami is saying.
Mike, I'm
Is that what
curious.
you're saying?
Rabbi keeps talking about all these things. An IV is nothing. It's not talking about it's talking about what you're eating, not how you're eating it.
No, it is. No, it's but yeah, because it's not even considered eating. It's not considered, it has to be derech achilah or derech hanah. Now, let's say you put chayav through an IV. That's not the way people normally eat chayav. Right? So therefore, it would be okay. Right? So that's the shayla with the pills. So that's a machlokes apaskim with pills. Right? So.
But also the question is, a bitter pill to swallow, literally, does that make a difference if it's not hanah?
Correct, but that's true. So the Maisa push comes to shove, we pass that.
That's another pun.
Right, so that, yeah.
I know, doctor, they could wrap your jokes around the pills, and you could take any pill that they give you on Yom Kippur.
That's what he's referring to. What he's referring to is the machmirim who tell you to take a treifa pill and wrap it in a tissue and swallow it that way, because that's for sure not considered eating. Whatever it is, so things that are not roy la'achila, so I mean not roy la'achila. If it's not roy la'achila, it's a different story. But if it's not derech achila, so then it's fine. So now the pashtus is, though, it's still assur to do it, right? That's what Gersh was pointing out. It says potter. So like this, the Rav Yah says, and the Shach brings it, that he says potter aval assur applies to Hilchas Shabbos. Every other area in the Torah, potter means it's mutter. Okay, it's a shmaka maramakam. Now, the Mifus is like this.
Who says that? Who says that?
The Rav Yah, the Mordechai here brings the Rav Yah. Now, let me tell you, so I looked up my notes today on Hilchas. I wrote these notes a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't even remember. A couple of years ago, I wrote these notes, and I looked it up because I knew I had some stuff in there. And it brought a Marsham who says that you can be soimich on this Rav Yah, b'shas hatchak, that it's considered mutter. Now, I was going to look up this Marsham. A guy bought me a set of Marsham yesterday, dropped it off by my door, a set of Marsham, 8 chalakim. I said to myself, what am I going to do with this? I have no room. Then I'm mamish, an hour, I put it on the shelves, an hour later, I'm looking at my notes and it says Marsham. I said, no, I got to look this up. And I looked it up, and that's taka what he says, that in our Gemara, it says potter means, I got to call this guy and tell him that he's mamish about Mifus. But whatever it is.
Wow, Tiago, I was going to get you the Marsham, but I guess I won't get it now.
Listen, parents, maybe get me a lottery ticket, all right? Happens to be my birthday tonight, Garada. So,
Mazel tov, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Big, yes, thank you.
That'll be a Mifus if you win the lottery.
That would be taka. But anyways, that's a very interesting thing.
Isn't it Indian to give out brachas on your birthday?
I was about to say, don't even ask for a bracha because I have no idea where an Indian comes from, and if I don't know where an Indian comes from, I don't do it. So if you find me a source,
out of him like you get a different Torah out of him on Shabbos.
Listen, I got donuts in my house. If you want to make a bracha that way, gesundheit. Actually, no, I don't want to share my donuts. But okay. What?
Hold one for me. I'm coming.
There you go. But anyway,
the minhag Barak waits to leave your window open so somebody can come make a bracha at 3 a.m.
That we are being Mekayim, yes. Anyway, so that's basically the sugya. That's basically the sugya that you come out from here. Now, the also another major thing on this sugya is the shagas aryeh.
Wait a minute, wait for the poskim don't hold like the Rav Yah?
No, to be materit lechatchila? No, not lechatchila. For a chayla, yeah.
Chayla is lechatchila.
Chayla Shulchan Aruch paskins a chayla could take it. Shaloika derech achila is no problem. The only problem the machlokes is swallowing a pill considered derech achila or not.
So what is
a lot of poskim,
is it or not? It's
a machlokes. Machlokes. We lean towards the more makel. That taking a pill, just swallowing without chewing is not achila. But you do have to be careful because a lot of people ask this. You have chewable medications is not the same as a pill, right? And a liquid and gel caps may ikaradin. We're gonna pass in. It's swallow it. It's not a problem. But lemaisa, if you have an option to take a gel cap, or in the pharmacy they have a tablet right next to it. So why should you put yourself into the machlokes if you could just take the tablet?
Well, the tablet might have like that coating, like Advil has.
Yeah, okay, so you have to know what's in the ingredients about that. But the what's it called for sure treif. Gel caps, as far as I know, are all treif, right? So that's
I'm gonna clean out my my medicine cabinet.
I don't know if you have to do that, but you could always wrap it in a tissue. You always have that option.
What's on Advil? What coating is it?
There's a coating on it.
Yeah, Advil has like a coating on it. It's like candy coated or something.
Yeah, some don't. On the regular brand name Advil, the off brands don't have it. There's a lot of confusion also by Hilchos Pesach by taking the pills. So there's one type of Advil that the kashrus places say has chametz in it, and nobody chaps that they mean a specific Advil, not your regular Advil. But people just see Advil and they just decided you can't take it. So you're busy half the Pesach telling people, no, that's not that Advil. It's this. That's a specific Advil that they mean, not okay, whatever it is. But
the regular Advil has a treif lining.
The regular does not. I think the Satmar holds that it's treif. I think Satmar holds that it's treif, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not up to date on the thing. But the Shagas Aryeh says, now I don't remember the Shagas Aryeh. I'm not remembering. Shagas Aryeh says on this Gemara, he definitely says that it's still assur. I don't have my. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember now. Okay. Anyways, it's late. So, but I'll believe another. I'll bring it tomorrow. I'll say it tomorrow because it's important Shagas Aryeh. Obviously, not important enough for me to remember it. But right now, I'm saying how it ties into this Gemara. But yeah. But anyway, so that's the sugya that comes out from this Gemara. So then the next major sugya that comes out from this Gemara, and this is for the schnapps drinkers. So then weiter. Omer Reb Zera, Afana Nami Tanina, Ein Seifken Es Arabayim. Right, Mishum Arla, right? So we have Arla like we discussed yesterday or 2 days ago, right? So Arla is the first 3 years. You're not allowed to be nana from any of the fruits. So you don't get malchus from Arla. Only liquid that comes out from grapes and olives. The ilum mitusim v'tein and reminder, but the liquid that comes out from tusim wheat type that is strawberries, but Tainim is figs, reminding is pomegranates. That doesn't apply. My time, la mishum deloy kochalu derech hanasan. What's the reason why you're not chayav malchus if you drink pomegranate juice or strawberry juice or fig juice? Isn't it the reason? Because that's not the derech hanasan, meaning those are not the derech to drink. Now that's an interesting thing because nowadays we do drink pomegranate juice and strawberry stuff goes in juice. And then l'chayra this Gemara is not negeya. You would be chayav al tzar because that is the derech to drink it, right? Okay, but then the Gemara, so that's what the Gemara thinks, and the Gemara says, "Amar le'abaya, no, bishlam yashmin pre gufa the loy kachal derech hanasay shaper." If you're talking about eating the fruit in a way that's not meant to be eaten, right? Then that would be fine. Shaper elahacha mishum dezeya ba'amu. Here, the reason why liquid is no problem is because it's considered zeya. It's sweat. That's not considered the fruit. It's the sweat of the fruit, right? Meaning the dinim of arla only apply to the actual fruits. It does not apply to the liquids from the fruits unless that's the normal way that you eat the fruit, which is by zeisim and anovim. This is also very negeya to Hilchos Shabbos. Right, if the liquid comes out of them, that you're not allowed to eat on Shabbos, even if it came up by itself. Other fruits not, but nowadays that also changes.
That was on the bottom of the basket, right?
Correct, on the bottom of the basket. So then, but what's also, there's two other things that come very negative with zay of fruit. Number one is what's the bracha on fruits? What's a bracha on fruit juices? Right? So what bracha do we make on orange juice and apple juice and all that? Why are we making shakal? Why are we making shakal?
Pulp or no pulp?
Let's take a step back for
Doesn't matter.
What? Well, pulp, no pulp.
Rav Shlomo Zalman.
Rav Shlomo Zalman really holds that you should make eights.
Yeah.
Correct.
He says
Well,
that
why do we make shahakal on fruit drinks? It's for this because it's considered zayah. It's not considered the fruit, so it changes to shahakal.
The pieces and like
What? No. So the thing is, what could change it maybe is if the fruits are grown specifically for the drink, that could change the halacha. So many say that oranges nowadays are grown exclusively for orange juice, not to eat oranges. So mamela, then you would have to make chatas, which there are some passuk that say that. But lamaisa, this is the reason why we make shahakal on drinks.
One second. So something like Tropicana, for example, you would say that the oranges are definitely grown for the fruit, for the juice.
Well, yeah, but the question is, you have to take the whole world's oranges into account. Are the oranges grown for fruit or for fruit juice, for the orange juice? I'm not so sure. I don't know how it breaks down.
And you would go with rive?
What?
You would go with the regular straight rive?
I don't know. I would pashtus. I would think it goes with rive.
I would imagine rive go into juice today.
What? You think so? Okay,
I would
so that's
imagine the vast majority go into juice.
So then
I don't know if it's
yeah. So then maybe then you would have to make chatas on orange juice.
And chocolate.
Right.
While
Chocolate's also an issue. Should you make chatas on chocolate?
Right, guess you may be in America.
Right, it could be. I mean, there's lots of oranges
everywhere. The Arab countries all squeeze them into juice. They only sell them to the Americans that come.
Yeah. Okay. Then another thing that's much more negeya to the oilam on this daf is there are those that say that schnapps is not chametz, right? Because it's zeya ba'alma. Now we're talking, right? Right. Now we're talking.
Everybody just woke up.
There you go. Right. So there are shitas that say. I looked today for a few minutes. I couldn't find the pin it down to a specific shita who holds that. But listen. Nobody holds that it's mutter to drink schnapps on Pesach. But lemaisa it's zeya ba'alma. It's not the actual chametz. Right.
Does anyone hold its chametz gomer?
No. Everybody
Unless
holds
it's
it.
Taruv's chametz or something.
Yeah, it's nobody holds it's real. That's why there are some people that sell schnapps. There's certain people that don't sell chametz gomer, but they will sell schnapps. That's what they're being simach on. Now, why we don't use this as a tzira for chametz shalav Pesach with all the CRC issues with the, I don't know. I thought initially when I heard that the whole thing with the chametz shalav Pesach, I think we discussed it. I couldn't understand why everybody's making such a chumrah on something that many, or not many, but there are those that hold it's not even chametz. So good. So it went over chametz as a double derabbanan. Lamaisa, nobody. This is why I don't like to make halachic decisions on my own. Nobody went with my svara. I didn't hear one rabbi that went with my svara. So Baruch Hashem. But whatever. That's the sugya from the Zayah. Okay, the next Gemara is already a long Gemara, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow on that. Fine. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Is this Gemara another hint at Hanukkah?
Yes.
With Sufganin?
Oh, we don't need that. We had much better. We had the Chanukah Samspeh.
Yeah. It's the same word. That's what the word means.
Right, to absorb, right?
It means a sponge. That's what a Sufgania is.
Let me tell you.
I definitely absorbed.
What?
I definitely absorbed.
Yes, I absorbed way too much of it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, you were Mekayim on mitzvah deraisa possibly, so it's okay that you absorb them, right?
What, with the mitzvah deraisa, right? That's what.
Yeah, thanks. So it's okay.
Somebody told me he heard a vart from a very yeshivish guy in Lakewood. He said that what's the deal with the eating the donuts? The Greeks were very into their bodies, so we eat all these donuts. You show them, like, look, we don't care about our bodies. We're gonna show you, you know. So,
interesting one. Interesting. Like Reb Shlomo Zalman Taka says pshat why we should have jelly donuts. You ever heard this pshat? It's a geschmack pshat, right? He says that in ala michya we say v'al mizbechecha v'al echalecha, right? And it's Chanukah Samizbeach, so therefore we want to make a mezainis to
jelly donuts. You could say by Eddie.
Oh, 1 second. Very good. 1 second. Yeah, but that's what he says to make an ala michya. Good. So then what does it have to do with donuts? So he says because jelly donuts refers to the bikurim, to the first fruits that you also can only bring when there's a mizbeach. So mamela, you're getting in both, that it's a zikaron to the fruits of the bikurim and an alamichya together. What?
From the jelly.
So why jelly? I don't know. That's yeah.
He said another one. He said another word also.
What do you say?
Donuts are fried, so you can never bench on them. Benching
Right.
doesn't have on his
Yeah.
bechecha.
Right.
Something that's fried isn't even possible because then there's never benching on it. It's always mezainis.
Uh-huh.
All
right. Right. That was it. Right.
That's what he says. There's a mitzvah to eat 23 kebei of jelly donuts on Hanukkah.
What?
The mitzvah to eat 23 kebei of donuts on Hanukkah. Just to make it alamechia.
The truth is, I was doing pretty good with donuts till I think yesterday, but
I had one.
They say
That's finally everyone's okay with being machmer on the Kazayas book.
they say donuts are not like antibiotics. You don't need to take 2 a day for 8 days. You know.
Very good.
It just depends on what the international unit is.
No, that's got to be.
International unit of jelly donuts is quite large.
First of all, I think, by the way, already the roiv of the donuts are not jelly donuts anymore.
No,
it's a sad.
It's close.
It's a sad truth. Yes.
Right. Yeah, you could. Now.
Still.
Go to Hava Java, man. You see these donuts is insane.
I know.
It's a deraisa.
They come with its own squirt bottle for more filling. So like, you know how you get a piece of donut and sometimes it doesn't have enough like filling on it, so they give you a squirt bottle to put more on, just so you have every bit of donut.
What's this $5 donut?
Tonight's lavim is about
It's $9. $9 a donut.
$9 a donut.
Yeah,
Insane.
It's all meal. It's not.
Parrots, I don't know if you've seen this. I saw someone sent me a picture of brisket stuffed donuts.
Yeah, in Rockland Deli, Rockland Kosher.
Yeah, I saw an ad for a donut with 9 different types of meat inside.
Oh my god!
They couldn't do 8 for Hanukkah. They had to do 9.
Shamus.
I hear that's fake the yom. I thought, okay, whatever. It's insanity. Okay, well, listen.
That's where you call it insane? By the ninth meat. The 8 would have been fine, but the 9th meat is insane.
I wasn't saying the 9th one. I was saying it all of them. That's all. But if you brought it to me, I can't say I wouldn't try it.
The 9th one was chicken.
Oh.
Rabbi, in Yana Dioma, what is Rabbi talking about birthday parties? Is that a not Jewish zach?
I once saw a part from Rav Shach. He says he doesn't understand why Goyim celebrate birth. This is such a Litvish Shvart. He says he doesn't understand why Goyim must celebrate birthdays, because Goyim don't have Olam Haba. So why are you being happy that you have a birthday? You're closer to the end of everything. A Yid should be happy with a birthday because he's 1 year closer to the Shechina.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, but also,
how's that for a sobering birthday?
Why is it that Goyim always celebrate the birthday of a dead person when you celebrate the death?
I don't know. Chabad, they celebrate the birthday.
All right. That's true.
Right.
Because there is no death.
For a birthday.
Because there is no death.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
No, but seriously, we always see, this was, Christopher Columbus' birthday or whatever it is. And like, we always have yurtzites. Something I noticed. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the best I could find on
I'm looking.
Isn't there a Maisa from Reb Moshe's granddaughter? She was in school and her teacher asked her who here has a birthday. It's a goyish thing. Who do they make a birthday party for? And she sticks her hands up. And this was like before the teacher knew who exactly was in her class. And she sticks her hands up and he says, "My grandfather makes me a birthday party every year." She says, "Wow, it's such a goyish thing." He says, "I take it up with my grandfather. His name's Moshe Feinstein."
Taka?
Yeah. There's another famous story with the same girl. She seems to be a bit of not a kanoi, but
an adarabba,
a troublemaker. The teacher said that this was when people started having 2 sinks already. So the teacher said, You can't live with this one sink anymore. You can't kasher all the time. You're not allowed to kasher mostly fleishigs. And the teacher was teaching halachas, and she says, you need 2 sinks when you build a kitchen. The girl sticks her head up. My grandmother, for 50 years, had 1 sink.
Very good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the way it was. Right?
Yeah.
Too bad. Don't kill Naftali's business here now.
Seriously.
More
I
sinks,
always
more
preach,
cabinets.
Gotta have 2 sinks. Sorry, gotta redo it.
People have 3
3
sinks now.
3.
People have 3 sinks.
If
Yeah.
you have 9 meats in your donuts,
The new
you
thing
can
is
have
the
4
amount of
sinks.
ovens. Now it's done with that. Now ovens. People need 3-4 ovens in their kitchen. I don't get it.
You know why? They need 1 for each meat that goes into the sufganya,
No, Naftali doesn't like that because you can't put cabinets where the ovens are. So
Exactly.
you're taking
No. I told them to do a base oven. Then I could have the cabinet around the base oven.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. Gotta pay for my stuff.
All right, my Bruce is calling. Good night, everyone.
All right, take care.
Mazel tov Shayagu.
So
Thank you.
that one doesn't do it for you.
I don't know. There's one he's bringing from the Baal Shem Tov over here. No, okay, but it doesn't say to give brachas.
Right. Yeah. Well, it says you should ask Hashem first, though, right?
You can ask Hashem for whatever you want. Right. Well, he said, you can give a piska. You can give a piska to a tzaddik. Right.
Yeah. So we should give you brachas, not the other way around.
No. You give a piska to a tzaddik. That means that the tzaddik davens for you.
Okay.
All right, that's okay. It's not going to be good enough to convince me. No.
I'll keep looking. When you said that, I looked at the calendar because I thought it was Kratzmach tomorrow.
Oh no, I go with the Hebrew birthday.
I know. I thought I was off by a week.